Hi guys, it's Christina here, and I just wanted to come on and show you a soup that I make for my family. It's really easy to prepare. It's lentil soup, and although it's March, it is freezing cold outside, and I wanted nothing more than just a nice, wholesome, yummy, hearty soup tonight. So I decided to make lentil soup, and I thought, why don't I just show you guys, because it's such an easy recipe that I'm sure a lot of people, could get some ideas on how to make lentil soup for their families too, if that's something you're interested in. So I'll just get straight into it. So the first thing you'll need are lentils. Now I like to use the fresh lentils. You can also use lentils from a can. These are Goya lentils. They've been drained, pardon the nails by the way, but they've been drained and rinsed and they're just hanging out. So these are the lentils that I'm going to use. This is a whole bag of lentils, so a little bit goes a long way. So this is a lot of soup that we're making, guys. I'm making enough soup for about 20 people. We tend to eat a lot of soup for our lunch. So this is soup that'll probably get used within the next week or so between my husband and I. So that's why I make a lot of soup when I make soup. So yeah, this is a whole bag of lentils. And then I'll take you along to my kitchen table, which is a little bit messy at the moment, but as you can see, I've got the ingredients kind of laid out. I've got 2 stalks of celery ready to chop. That's just a coffee cup. I've got a whole onion ready to chop. I've got a bag of carrots, 4 shallots. What else do I use? I use 2 cans of diced tomatoes, and then I use a little bit of soy sauce. I use a jar of this roasted garlic pasta sauce because that gives that a nice tomato base. And then I just use some sprigs of thyme for extra seasoning. So as you can see, it's a very, these things, in case you're wondering, these are just some mini cinnamon apple muffins that I made for breakfast. They came out really yummy, so if you're interested in seeing how I made those, I could do that in a separate video, but those were just hanging out. So back to the soup. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm just going to chop up all of the celery, chop up that whole onion, and chop up some garlic, which isn't on the table, it's on the fridge. And then put that into a pan with some butter and just let that all simmer and get really soft. And then I'm going to chop the carrots into maybe quarters and chop up the shallots and just let that all simmer out away, and then add the diced tomatoes, and then add the sauces and the lentils and let it cook for a few hours, and that'll be the soup. So if you want to see how everything progresses, stay tuned. Okay, so I've gone ahead and chopped up all of the celery. It was 2 stalks of celery to be exact. I didn't use the whole onion. I only ended up using half the onion because it was such a large onion. I just gone and used half of it, but I did use 4 small shallots, and then I added 4 spoonfuls of butter to each corner. I tried to get the corners. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I've got a bit of water on the bottom, and I'm just going to saute all of these things and get them nice and soft. And when they're really nice and soft, then I'm going to add them to my soup pan to be the base, and the basis from which all the flavors emerge in the lentil soup. So my celery and onions are progressing quite well. They're getting nice and translucent. There's still lots of water and butter in the bottom, so I'm going to ahead and add my carrots to it. I've gone ahead and chopped up about 2 cups of carrots into these small round pieces, which are very nice size for soup, a nice bit of chunkiness in the soup. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the pan and get everything nice and soft. So I've incorporated the carrots, the celery, the shallots. I forgot to mention there are 4 cloves of garlic in here as well, the butter and the water, and it's all simmering away quite nicely. The onions are getting nice and translucent. but I want to make sure that they don't burn because I don't want a caramelized flavor in the lentil soup. So I just want to make sure that it's evenly distributed so that there's just a nice flavor throughout without any caramelization. But it smells gorgeous. It's just hearty and rich and nice. The carrots are getting nice and soft. So I think this is pretty much ready to add to my soup pan, and then I'll start adding the lentils and tomato and getting the soup process underway. Okay, so my carrots and shallots and celery has been added to my large soup pan, and now I'm going to go ahead and add my Del Monte diced tomatoes, some Nature's Promise chicken stock. Gonna add my lentils and add a bit of my pasta sauce. What is this? This is roasted garlic pasta sauce to give it a little bit of extra texture to the sauce so it's not all so watery. And then a bit of soy sauce and thyme just for seasoning and taste. So when it's all together, I'll show you what's next. Okay, my soup is completely boiled now. As you can see, the lentils have expanded and they're soft. So what I'm gonna do, because this soup is pretty chunky and, you know, I don't know, sometimes I like chunky soup, but now I actually think I prefer to have it a little bit finer. I'm going to take out the bay leaf. Well, no, that was actually thyme. I'm gonna take out the thyme leaves. Look for any extra thyme leaves in here, if I can see any more. This soup smells so good. It's so rich and yummy. There's another guy hiding. Just gonna scoop him out. And what I'm gonna do is just put this in the blender for a little while to just thin it out a bit and make it a little bit more of a soup, because at the moment this is looking like lentil stew. So I'm going to blend this just for a few seconds in my blender, and then I'll show you when it's ready. Hi guys, so the soup is all ready. And what I decided to do was blend half of the contents of the soup in my blender and make it into a puree so that you can see any of the vegetables or the lentils. It was all you know, made into kind of like a smoothie form, but then I left the other half in its natural state so you can see the celery, the carrots, the lentils, and then I combined the two, and I think this is the perfect consistency. I'll give you a close-up so that you can see it. You can see all of the vegetables, but then it has a nice soup consistency so it doesn't just look like a stew. So now I'm going to give this a taste and see how it's turned out. That's really good. Really nice. Totally hitting the spot. I'm so glad I made it. This is exactly what I wanted to eat today. So I hope this has inspired you on how to make lentil soup for yourself, for your family. I'd love to see any comments you have, or let me know how you make your favorite soups in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.